Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and today I'll be talking about superhero video games. By talking about, I actually mean asking the question, why don't we have more superhero video games? Now I realize that's not really an accurate statement. There are characters like Cole and Delsin from the infamous games, as well as other characters in all sorts of other video games, saving the world, saving a city, stopping a giant evil plan. But what I really mean by it is, why don't we have more superheroes from comic books in video games? Obviously, we have had some good superhero video games. The Batman Arkham franchise, Injustice Gods Among Us, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Punisher, which in my opinion was a highly underrated game, as well as the Marvel Alliance games. And there have also been a few good Spider-Man games. Far more bad Spider-Man games, but there have been some really standout ones. But when you look at that list, it's actually a fairly short list of games. Now, there are folks out there who would probably like to see me hanged for not mentioning Marvel vs. Capcom, but I consider that more of a mashup and not a real superhero game, because you're including a bunch of Capcom characters. And I could also count the Lego games, but I really don't, because again, I feel like they're a mashup, and they're more of a parody than an actual superhero game. I do want to put it out there, I'm not bad-mouthing either of those franchises, they're just not what I'm counting in this discussion. What I'm looking for are more superhero games like the Batman Arkham franchise, because that game does justice to the source material. It puts you in the world of Batman. It makes you feel like you are Batman, like you are fighting the Joker. Now, I'd like to use another example other than the Batman Arkham franchise, but I don't think any have done quite as well. What I would love to see is something like Suicide Squad, Red Hood and the Outlaws, The Punisher, better Spider-Man games, some more X-Men games, Avenger games, etc., etc., etc. But not just games that truly deliver on what we want to see, that truly put us in the world that we're trying to experience. And they don't have to just be Batman Arkham knockoffs. As the Marvel Alliance games proved, you can do something different with the games. You can delve into other genres and have them still be great games. But what do we get instead? We get a bunch of horrible movie tie-in games. Games churned out simply for the sake of trying to turn a profit on an upcoming movie. Games like that, I honestly can't wrap my mind around why the developers even bother making them. They're made on a low budget, with limited time, and I honestly have issues seeing how they even turn a profit on those games, because everybody knows they're gonna be crappy games. Those type of superhero games are like Uwe Boll movies. They're a sin against video games, their source material, and humanity in general. And there really should be a market for this, since I've been hearing rumblings lately from different video game media sources claiming that the video game industry has begun to stagnate if it hasn't already. And all I can think when they say that is, well, here's a resource that people clearly aren't tapping into. Now, obviously, I'm putting that out there in the hopes that it'll happen. That people will start making video games based on comic book superheroes. Obviously, though, I don't want more games like Thor or Iron Man. Those were abominations. I'm putting it out there in the hopes that companies like Rocksteady will take the time and put in the effort to develop a game that's worth our time and our money. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please hit that like button. And if you enjoy what I'm doing in general, would you kindly subscribe? Have a good one.